In addition to Chow Lianhua, Ji Yunran was dying to find Ha-sen. Now she was sure the boyfriend was not Ouyang Siosan, because during the match against Li Yufeng, Ouyang was participating in the training of martial arts society and could not have been at the match. Also, Ji Yunran did not believe Ouyang could have beaten Li Yufeng by 20 points. Who was it? Our school has such a hidden master at hand of God. Ji Yunran thought of that hateful ID and vowed, I will find you after all. If you really want to find him out, I have a way, Ku Lili said with a smile. What way? Ji Yunran did not believe Ku Lili. In fact, the approach is very simple. Since he used that ID, certainly he is one of your admirers. All you need to do is to host a Hand of God contest at school and say, the champion's prize is a kiss from you. I think he will participate for sure, said Ku, blinking. Ji Yunran rolled her eyes. What a bad idea. What if he does not show up? Quote. Ku Lili suddenly grinned at Ji Yunran and said, so you are willing to kiss him if he's the champion? Quote. Hey, that bastard, how could I? Ji Yunran was mad and shy at the same time. She grabbed Ku Lili and threatened, little girl, wait and see how I tame you. Ki Lili quickly begged for mercy, but Ji Yunran continued to tickle her and until she was almost out of breath. Ku Lili's idea was not that great, but it did remind Ji Yunran that in more than half a month, a school-wide contest named Starry Cup, sponsored by Starry Group, would start. The prize would be great and maybe that person would show up and participate. But Ji Yunran did not know which department he was in. Hand of God was just one item in Starry Cup, which also included combat, warframe, archery and other items. If that person did not come to Hand of God, but registered in another item, it would be difficult to tell who he was. It calls for a little trick, Ji Yunran thought with a devious smile on her face. In the training hall, several students were sitting together. Have you heard that the champion of Hand of God in Starry Cup could get a set of Z steel weapons of King series and visit the main factory of Starry Group? Who doesn't know that? Quote. I heard that Starry Group had also invited the president of Hand of God Society to visit their main factory. The president of Hand of God Society? Isn't that Ji Yunran? Quote. Yeah, the visit is 5 days and 4 nights. Wow, I'm definitely going to participate in the contest this time. What is the point? This is clearly meant for Ji Yunran's boyfriend. It's their honeymoon. Everything is possible. People make mistakes. What if Ji Yunran's boyfriend did not do so well this time? Quote. He beat Li Yifeng by 20 points. Even if he makes 20 mistakes, he would still be as good as Li. What chance do you stand? Quote. Right. Soon the news was spread throughout the school. When Ku Lili heard the news and asked Ji Yunran, the latter smiled and cunningly said, that is what other people say. I have not mentioned a thing. You are obviously stealing my idea. Pay me for the copyright. Ku Lili reached out to tickle Ji. Ji Yunran thought that this could force her to register for the Hand of God contest, but little did she know that Ha-sen had not even heard about it because he had been practicing driving a heavy warframe builder. This was more fun than driving the training warframes. Builder's versatility allowed Ha-sen to reach the limit of his speed. In Principal's office, Luo Xiangyang looked at Principal Wei and complained, this is nonsense. How could you give the 7th warehouse to Heavy Warframe Society as their training ground? And the 3 heavy warframes are totally beyond the abilities of those students. What if there is an accident? Quote, Luo, you have to look at the specific circumstances. Those are good students and that's why I gave them a relaxed training environment, Wei said slowly. More like rich and powerful students. Luo Xiangyang said with some disdain. You should know that the school has its own difficulties. Luo, you need to get rid of this temper of yours, said Wei earnestly. Luo Xiangyang's face was still gloomy. He said, I do not care what privileges they have. I can give them the warehouse, but the 3 heavy warframes can't be wasted like this. I must get them back. Luo left, disregarding Principal Wei's calling him. Wei shook his head and sighed. A nasty temper indeed. He thought about it and let it go. That young lady would not touch those heavy warframes anyway, so there should be no problem that Luo were to take them away. Luo Xiangyang stepped toward the 7th warehouse and was quite upset. He had wanted this warehouse for a while and the school never agreed. Then they gave it to the Heavy Warframe Society. He knew everything about Heavy Warframe Society, just several people who were wasting their time. Who would pay attention to heavy warframes anyway? Normal soldiers would not even have the chance to touch them. Only the specialized soldiers would like them. He was now the coach of the Warframe Society, which was doing very well and had lots of members, among which a lot were excellent. However, their training field and equipment were quite lacking. He wanted to use the 7th warehouse as a training field, but the school had never approved and later gave it to Heavy Warframe Society. How could he stay calm knowing that? But Luo Xiangyang also knew that Principal Wei was having a hard time. So he was fine with giving them the warehouse, but the 3 heavy warframes should not be wasted like that. He planned to take them back to his society and pick a few students to practice on them. If possible, he'd like to train those students into professional heavy warframe operators. When Luo Xiangyang came to the 7th warehouse, he saw Builder was driven by someone, doing a lot of strange moves on the training ground.